Hi, Robert here with two more design ideas with that great clustered bouquet you just bought from your supermarket. This bouquet here is analogous in design. Analogous means two different colors. Here we're working with yellow and orange. Orange alstroemeria, orange lilies, yellow solid aster, and yellow daisies. Let's remove the wraps. And as I always tell you, make sure you save them for a future video. We're going to separate the flowers. Like so. Now, one thing to be certain of is beware of the pollen. Pollen will stain your tablecloth, will stain your clothes. The best thing to do is to remove it before you begin your designing. It will not hurt your flower, don't worry at all. And as a little tip from me, if you do get it on your clothes, just either take a piece of tape and lay it on it and pull the tape off, or a little brush and flick it. Never brush it in or your clothing is ruined. So let's start with our lilies, and we're going to remove the foliage that's below the waterline. Don't forget, always put your flower food in the vase. I'm going to put my lilies here, like this, and I want to place the buds where I know when they open, they're going to open perfectly where I want them. Next, let's take our alstroemeria lily, and I'm going to place it all the way around it. This is a style similar to the Biedermeier styles we have done before in the past. I'm going to remove any foliage that either doesn't look good or is below the waterline, because remember, we're constantly fighting bacteria with that greenery. You should have something like that. Next, we're going to take our yellow daisies. Let's place them a little lower and remove the smaller ones that are down below the waterline again and the foliage. Save these little daisies because we're not done with them yet. All we're doing is going around in it as a collar all around the design. We want to keep the color balance. And if you notice, I'm kind of crisscrossing my stems as I go. Now we're going to take our solid aster. Now this is way too big for what we actually need, and all of that is going to sit below our waterline. So what we're going to do is take a sharp pair of scissors and let's cut it like so. This is going to sit in the water because it's a short piece. We're going to place it down low like that. We're going to be cutting this low, so these stems will definitely hit the water. I'm removing all the little pieces and going all the way around, again as a collar, and as I'm doing it, I'm removing the foliage. I know I repeat that a lot, but that's because it's very important. Check it to make sure it's nice and even when you're looking at it, so it looks like that. And then we still have a couple of our little extra daisies here. No sense wasting anything. We know how frugal we can be, right? Let's put them around the bottom. Never waste anything. But make sure they're low enough that they will be in the water. I'm bringing these all the way around, just like that. And now it's time to cut and measure. Now remember what I've told you before, always make sure you cut things a little longer first because you can't replace the stems. So we're going to make two cuts. I'm measuring so that this lands right at the rim of my vase, and I'm going to cut. After you cut, hold it up again, and I think I need a little bit more off the end. Just like that. Let's place it in our little jardiniere. Turn it around from all sides to fluff and make sure it looks nice. And look at how pretty you've got a finished little piece. Now, what else can we do with this bouquet? Let's look around the house for something fun. How about a pitcher? A lemonade pitcher. This one I happen to have gotten very inexpensively at a local department store. You probably have several around your house, maybe in clear glass. So let's take the yellow version. This is the yellow and white version of the same bouquet, and I'm going to separate them like we always do. White daisies, solid aster, yellow lilies, and alstroemeria. Put your flower food into the pitcher, and let's remove our pollen. These lilies are just about starting to open, which is perfect, because once we hydrate them a little bit more, they'll really open. So I've removed all the pollen that I can get at. And this time we're going to do more of a twister style design. I'm going to remove the lower foliage from my solidago. Like so. It's better to do this all ahead of time before you start designing. Remove all that foliage from your flowers. This way it won't distract you while you're designing. Get it off the lilies too. And our daisies should be pretty much okay. I'm just going to remove a few of the really low ones that are down here because I won't be able to use them. But you could save them and put them in a little tiny bud vase, maybe in your bathroom or something. Okay, let's take our daisy first, and then one of our lilies. We'll leave the lily a little higher. And then I'm going to take the alstroemeria and put that in. And you know what? I'm going to save the solidago. We'll take the daisy again, another alstroemeria. I turn it around in my hand so it's evenly dispersed. Look at how bright and cheery that already looks. And we've just started. I'm twisting, turning. I'm going to put my other lily so it lands right there. And remember, you want your buds up nice and high so they open up above everything. And we're going to add the rest of the alstroemeria. You see I've got the little crisscross going on there? That's what you should have to make it open nice and big that way. Now we're going to add this in whole pieces like we did around the bottom of the other one and go all the way around. This should look something like that. Now we're going to measure it in the pitcher and we're going to cut. Let's give it one more cut. Place it in the vase, turn it around and fluff a little bit, pull up our lilies, smile, have a little lemonade. And there's your two designs. As always, happy arranging.